Hello everyone and welcome back to another league race in the AOR GT3 Elite League on the PC platform on Project Cars. Sorry for starting the stream a little bit late as per usual, but we are here with another race at Brno for this week. 32 laps in wet weather conditions we will have here today. Season started off last week at Monza with an interesting race, and considering the conditions here today, as you will see as we switch to the track view, will certainly give me at least high hopes for this race being an interesting one as well. Unfortunately though, I am not joined by Yorkie as I usually am. Yorkie's microphone died, basically, which means that he will not be here for this week. He should hopefully be back for next week. But in Yorkie's place today, I have a man who has raced in the league previously in some seasons. That is Mr. Wycombs.
Hello Fizzy, hello stream, how are you doing? Obviously sad that Yorkie's not here today, but I'll try my best to help you out, and yeah, I think we will have a very interesting race ahead of us, especially, I mean, I love Brno, and especially with rainy conditions, it should be pretty tricky, to be honest.
Definitely will. Brno is a fantastic track for GT racing in my opinion. It's the first time we've been here in the wet though, I think, so
Yes.
Should be interesting indeed. Let's have a quick look as we only have 2 minutes left of this qualifying session ahead of the 32 lap race. Charf, unsurprisingly I guess you can say, based on last season's form when he was up there with Magetta challenging for the title. Charf on provisional pole, but only by a tenth of a second over last week's pole sitter Bam and Nova. So those two guys showing as the class of the field again so far in this session, after those two are of course the guys battling towards the front last week as well. Then behind them we have F-Mate, 4 tenths further back, currently in the garage, so he will not be improving. Sula sitting also in the garage in 4th, Suomi 5th also in the garage, Godfather Shift in the garage. Seems like a lot of these guys have decided to not go for a last ditch effort here. Hideaki though in 7th, still out on track, trying to improve on his 205.5. Interesting indeed, as Hideaki is about to cross the line. He was 7th and he is still 7th. Unfortunately, Hideaki one of 2 Z4 drivers only on the grid this season. But here we have the qualifying results. Charf did get pole by a 10th over Nova at the front there. Then we have F-Mate, Sula, Suomi, solid in P5, Godfather Shift, Hideaki, Keller, Crazy B, and Marco in the top 10. Then Rillo, Jeff, Brandress, Claessens, Enzo, Novi, Andrix, Jamai, Gibbs, Bach or something, and then Hetharion to round out the 21 driver field here today. Yes, I did do all the names. I'm amazing. But there are a few reserves in. Novi making his debut down in 16th position in the Bentley, 1 or 2 Bentleys on the grid, joining Hetharion and out qualifying Hetharion, because Hetharion is right at the back of the field.
Not bad. Crazy B as well, question mark?
Yes, that is in. Yeah, that is a good spot actually. Crazy B up in. Oh, if they will let me scroll up. Crazy B up in 9th on his debut. He is a full-time driver, but he did not race last time at Monza. So he's making his debut, and another one was making his debut down in 20th place, a Bach. Alright then, here we go. Is this the final corner? I believe this is the final corner.
Yes, this is the final corner, it is.
Yep. My Brno track knowledge is kind of correct-ish. So, here we go then. Charf is about to get ready. Should be from the pit entry here and all the way down to the start line. Oh, god damn it, I have got the camera bug on the start-finish rate again. But here we go, the race is underway. And Charf has put his foot down to lead the field down towards turn 1. And if the camera lets me switch, there we go. Charf has gotten away cleanly, no problems for him. Nova slightly challenged though by F-Mate through turn 1. F-Mate on the inside, but Nova carrying more speed there on the outside and crucially holds on to 2nd place. And and that is Suomi jumping up from P5 already and challenging for 3rd place coming into turn 2. And you can see the field is just storming in. There's a few 2 wides going down the field. Let me know, Wycombs, if you can see anything happening further down the field.
Not that much, but I think it was a very clean start. Of course, a couple of side-by-sides into the first corner, but no major contact, or no contact made, I think, from any drivers, so very clean start indeed. As we got Mark O challenging Hideaki potentially. Now Z4 is maintaining P8 for the moment.
So yeah, nice to see a nice clean starter car ahead of Hideaki. That is Keller. Looked a bit wobbly through that particular section of the track. The middle part of the lap, which is relatively slow speed, as it's a side-by-side for P5. Godfather a shift, getting a run on Sula, who looked to have made a slight mistake on the previous corner. Now running a little bit wide again, maybe just to leave space, just in case Godfather a shift tried to stick it up the inside there. But Sula just about holding onto that one, and ahead of them, Suomi still super close to F-Mate for third in that Corvette, which should be a lot better. Apparently it's much better in stability and grip compared to straight line speed, which is why it wasn't too good at Monza. And look at the traction he got out of that corner. He's got his nose ahead on the outside through this chicane, and Suomi has got the position. Great overtake on Sula, or on F-Mate even, for P3 in the race. That's again similar story to last week out in front, with the top two breaking away a little bit, but F-Mate is not over in this battle just yet.
He's brave. He's broken later than the Suomi there, but he
a little bit deep.
Yep. I think someone who lost a little bit of position was Crazy B. Actually, he's down in 11, so he dropped out of the top 10 on the first lap, but not too bad. And the best, well, car, which is very, very powerful on the straights, is Claessen's in the Aston Martin, who is, of course, so, yeah, one of the cars who's not particularly good in the rain normally. As Brno going wide into turn one, he's on the grass. Slightly, he's coming back on the track. I think he's losing one position at least to Brandress there, but no major thing done there as well.
Yeah, Brno in the McLaren. Nice to see the McLaren back on the grid as well after a season or two, but not too much McLaren action. This is another car that looks very good in my opinion. As scrolling back up the field, slight gap forming ahead of the Keller, a few car lengths there, and then Godfather shift trying to catch up with F-Mate. Oh, and F-Mate has dropped to Sula, has he? He has indeed.
There was also a gap forming ahead. Suomi is basically gone from that group at the moment.
Be interesting to see if Suomi can keep pace with the two leaders here, who are very close, by the way. Nova right at the back of Scharf. Because Suomi was, of course, one of the front runners in terms of pace last season. Various things happened that meant he wasn't really able to challenge for the championship in the end. But we know he has the pace, but the question is, does the Corvette allow him to keep pace with these guys up in front? So far, though, he's done a good job getting his way up from P5. Novi has dropped from the session, which is not a good way to have his debut race. Only 2 laps in, and he's already gone.
It's very unfortunate. I wonder if F-Mate is now having also having, struggles to keep up with Sula here. So it's very weird start for him into this race. And Suomi's last lap was 4/10 slower than Nova and Charles. So he, at the moment at least, it seems like he's not got quite the pace to keep up with them.
Yeah, he's kind of fallen back into Sola a little bit there.
Yeah.
Rather than going after the top 2. So, F-Mate, yeah. P5 has to worry a bit about Godfather shift, and the gap down is to 7th. It's even bigger as Keller has disappeared. Where has Keller gone? See if you can find him for me.
He's 17th!
Oh dear.
17th. I think, let's look at his car. His car looks okay. From what I can say, at least in the race. So maybe a spin or something?
Go on.
Oh no.
Oh yes! Something has happened! Sula has been off the track with a spin.
And F-Mate as well.
Oh, dearie me. F-Mate is even worse off. He's dropped a lot more time. They might well have had an incident then. Didn't see it just happen just in front of the camera, but we saw them both off the track and rejoining. Sula rejoining in 11th, I believe that was. Yes. Whereas F-Mate has dropped all the way down to 14th after those two were in the top 5. So that has been a major blow to those guys.
Yeah, the main factor in the rain is really to keep the tires to keep the tires cooled down and not let them overheat too much, really. Well, a lot of is down to the setup, really. But also a little bit of driving style, not getting too many slides out of the corners and stuff like that, not turning in too much, not applying too much steering lock. So all tiny factors that can keep the tires in relatively good shape through the entirety of the race here. And seems like Klaassen is doing a really good job, as he's also closing on Jeff, who is in the SLS, worth mentioning.
Oh wow. As I just saw Mates passing Enzo for 13th. Obviously, it will be interesting now to see how Mate and Sula can fight their way back through the field.
Yep.
After that mistake. But yeah, Jeff in the SLS up in 7th place. Obviously, he had his first podium last week. Very solid job at Monza. But that's a track where you'd expect the SLS to be good. In these conditions around Brno, you wouldn't quite expect it. So yeah, I would say Jeff arguably doing an even better job so far this week.
Yeah, definitely. Seems though that Classes is running a little bit better pace at the moment, and he would probably catch him. But you know, this is not going to be an easy pass. To pass an SLS on the train is pretty much impossible.
Yeah. So let's see now. We're gonna go on board with this bumper down the straight. He's getting very close out of this corner, but unless the slipstream effect is suddenly super strong, he shouldn't really be getting on the Aston Martin too much. Looking to the inside of turn 1. Is he gonna go for a little dive? He is, forcing Brandreth to leave probably a bit more room than he needed to there. Brandreth's running very wide. Can't F-Mate, though, keep the speed with such a tight one, hugging the apex all the way through, and there we go. He's still behind. So that was kind of the opposite of what you were saying you should do.
Yeah.
Because he went for the move into turn 1 instead of out of it, and as you can see, it hasn't quite worked out. The car ahead going very wide through that. Asula in also a roof, going very wide through turn 4, and then next to turn 5. F-Mate still staring at the back of the Aston Martin. This is a battle for the final top 10 position, of course. And let's quickly check my timing to see if anyone's close. Suomi still hasn't been passed.
No.
And
I think though that it seems that Jeff and Claessens are making inroads on Mark O here in the last couple of laps, which is a little bit surprising, I have to say. I mean, considering how he was pulling away at the start from Jeff at least. Now it's kind of the opposite here. You can see a little better run as well from Jeff and Claessens behind onto the straight. So that could be a three-way battle.
Here we go. Brandreth getting dive bomb now from F-Mate, who gets him done under braking. Unless Brandreth can cut underneath and get a good exit there, but it's a tricky corner to do it. He's gonna try to pull it outside, but F-Mate is too far ahead with his car. And there we go, up to 10th position for F-Mate now on his comeback drive, and is now right behind Sula, who we think that he had an incident with earlier on, considering they both spun off at the same time.
Yep.
Oh, and actually, speaking of Suomi, I saw my timing that... Oh, okay. On my live timing, it was 1/10 between them, so I got a little bit scared.
It was very close into that corner as well. I think Suomi made that corner a little bit wider, and Godfather's shift just went did a more sweeping 90, or just made the corner way tighter, so they were very, very close into the apex of turn 5 there. But Suomi staying ahead for the moment. It seems like though that really that Godfather's shift seems to have a little bit more grip at the moment, and potentially passing coming. Something I was noticing a couple of seconds ago was that Charf has pulled a gap from Nova, and he's still in 2:05.4s. So he's very, very consistent, banging in the laps near his fastest lap, while Nova's considerably 3 to 4 tenths slower at the moment.
Wow. That is... yeah, what do you even call that? That is just alien pace from Charf at the moment. And alien consistency as well, by the looks of it. Pulling a gap, I would say, 2.5 seconds. You know, I looked a little bit slow on the exit of that corner as well. Getting hard on that curb. Maybe even 3 seconds now between the top two. Charf looking very strong. And of course, we don't expect any of these guys to pit either, as Suomi has to go defensive into the final chicane. To defend from Godfather of Shift, and might compromise his line a little bit onto the main straight. And here we go, the Z4 of Godfather of Shift getting surely very close, staring at the rear end. Is Suomi going to go defensive as well into turn 1? Yes, he is. Godfather of Shift will surely now try to take a wide entry here to cut back. Maybe he's going to try to go around him instead. This is super, super close. Suomi though just keeping it tight and making sure there's no way for Godfather to slip underneath him. But again, he has to defend now, coming into turn 4. And he's really been put under pressure from the guy who's new to the league for this season. Godfather of Shift putting in an impressive second race in the league for him so far. Oh, nearly trying to get his nose under Suomi through turn 5 as well. How is the exits out of here? Down the straight, Suomi seems that is covered unless Godfather of Shift pulls a surprise inside lunge here, and he is actually doing it. Oh, and he's taking the cone off on the inside of the corner there, completely smashed whatever the cone and the tire or something. I don't know really what was on there, but definitely a few things, a few objects flying into the air.
If it was the tire, then he might have taken a little bit of damage with him
Yeah.
as well. I've actually been on board with Claessens, who's made a move on Marco, and Jeff slipped through with him again, as well as F-Mate also made the move on Sula. So this is going to be very interesting from P6 to 10.
Wow, yeah, so things have happened while we've been watching Suomi defend his podium position. And Jeff now running wide in that SLS, and Marco behind him, who's now dropped 2 positions, trying to look underneath him through the exit of the chicane. Can he do it? SLS, sorry, SLS. Jeff running very wide on that curb, and now Marco given the chance to slip up the inside. F-Mate could have made it a very ambitious 3 wide if he wanted to. But probably for the safety of everyone, he didn't, though. He's going to cut underneath on Jeff out of this corner. Jeff running very wide, having to leave Marco room, who's now got that 7th place back. And Jeff still has his car ahead. And now Marco running wide on the next corner. It's all slicing and dicing through the final part of this lap now. And Jeff having to go defensive into turn number 14. Look how much that, yeah, wow. And the side by side through the final corner, and surely though, if Jeff can keep side by side there, he should have a straight line speed advantage. Let's have a look. He's definitely pulling a little bit ahead coming into turn 1. This camera ain't helping me, but there we go. F-Mate again later on the brakes, and behind them Sula going super deep, might allow Brandress to get back past him in the Aston Martin. And yes. Jeff actually did stay ahead. This is crazy battling here now in the mid-pack and the lower top 10 positions. F-Mate is going to go for the inside line again. Surely again he will try to brake later, and without running deep this time. And there's another 2 wide behind them. Jeff still trying to hang on, but does the SLS have the grip through this corner? Here we go. I think F-Mate will have this move now. Jeff still doing a good job to stay close, and he might want to go up the inside. But we have seen that F-Mate is a little bit braver on the brakes, and again, this time he's finally made it stick, I think. And so Sula also managed to fend Brandress off, and Crazy B has joined the mix there in P12 as well. Wow.
Crazy battling. There was a level of contact at the before the final corner, so I was a little bit excited about that one. But very, very good. That very crucial for F-Mate at least to get through these guys, and it seems like Sula is struggling a little bit more, so making a couple of more mistakes really. He was ahead after the incident, although we don't know if Sula has got any damage or something, but he tends to do some mistakes as Marco is going defensive as well on F-Mate. He's running very deep. This is going to be a cutback for the roof driver, and he might be able to hang it around the outside into the next corner as well. That will be very, very tricky, and I think if although they're still going to be side by side.
Oh my! Oh, this is great.
But Marco is still on the outside. He had the better exit, but I think F-Mate has got it now before the final chicane, and making another stunning overtake to take back P7.
Indeed, and now behind them Jeff running very wide, taking the pit entry cones out there. Rest in peace, cones. People don't like them around here today, by the looks of it. And that might give him a poor exit. Crazy B has actually passed Brandress back there at some point throughout that lap. So Crazy B up to 11th, and now the man challenging the SLS of Jeff. See, it's a tricky section for him, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy B now might well have a run. He wasn't much of a straight there. Jeff leaving a little bit of room just to be safe. Oh, and that's very close to contact. Brandress coming in from behind as well. Jeff has to run really well, and he's dropped it. He's dropped it on the outside of the corner. Let's see if he can recover without any incidents there. Yeah, he can, but it's taken him a long time, and he's going to be down in 15th position. Still just about within the points, but having run 7th at least, maybe even higher earlier on, that is quite a shame for Jeff, and he did put up a really good fight in those battles as well. So, unfortunate, he's now back behind Andrex. At least he got some company still. It's getting very close, might grab a bit of slipstream, although he's getting his face full of spray as well from that Corvette, but he is pulling to the inside now, coming into turn 4. He has to do it under braking though, because he still didn't quite have his car properly ahead, and Marco doing his best to keep the position. Sula taking a wide entry to turn 5 to cut back, and that is probably brilliant. Yeah, he's done it absolutely beautifully there to get a fantastic run down towards turn 6, and now surely, unless Marco is trying to be brave on the outside, he is trying, but it might be a long way around, and it was just about too much for him. So Marco dropping down to 9th now. Sula getting another position on his comeback drive. Some fantastic battles we're seeing here.
Yeah.
To be fair, it has to be said, and mostly clean as well, which is lovely to see. And this is why Brno is such a good track for for GT racing. So good. And Crazy B right at the back of Marco now, and Marco's got a really poor run. I think he hit the inside curb a little bit in the braking zone.
Yeah.
And had a bit of a wobble, and now he's very much under pressure. Crazy B in his first race in the league is going to look to the inside to just cement his top 10 position here. He's going to go for 9th, and Marco braking a little bit later though into turn 4. Crazy B has to be patient, going for a kind of a half-hearted dive. Marco saw it coming and left a little bit of a margin there, and Crazy B managed to also slow it down in time. So the roof of Crazy B is trying to find anywhere to slip through, but Marco picking solid defensive lines, not making any mistakes for Crazy B to take advantage of at the moment. We have got now only 16 laps to go in the race, so we're about halfway actually. We started with 32.
Oh, there's a cutback again from Crazy. He got the inside line.
And there's two cars going into the pits at the same time. Oh, the camera didn't want to show me what happened, really, but
it was only Marco in the pits, and he cut off Brandress nearly. That was very close indeed.
Wow, so Brandress didn't want to go into pits, but was nearly forced in.
Yeah.
That was interesting. So yeah, Marco in the pits then. That is quite surprising. Obviously, we had both Bronsky and I think Engager argue in the chat that there is not necessary to stop here.
Well, Bransky is not to be trusted on these ones. He's always going to say it's a no-stopper, so, you know.
Well, yeah, everything's a no-stopper.
I think though, normally, if you can pull off a zero-stopper, it's normally the faster strategy. There's no doubt about that, but seems like that Marco thinks at least that he is not able to do the full race distance, and he's come out in last position.
Wow.
That just shows how close the thing is. There's a battle actually going on ahead between Jamai and Hitharion.
Oh, there we go. Bentley versus SLS. Not sure we've seen that before, or at least not that I can remember. Jam, I'm not really sure if Jam has pulled off an overtake, or if it's just been defending from Hitharion here. But either way, battle for 16th position. Jam, who made his debut last week, unfortunately finished last time out, but this time he's ahead of a few cars, which is good, and also in the points. In fact, points go down to 16th position. Of course, he's trying to defend that final points position at the moment in that light blue SLS.
Yeah, and also battle going on between ahead is this Andrex and Jeff going side by side, but Andrex still managing to hold on, and also Keller right behind him has actually got a better exit than the SLS. Ahead of him, he's gonna have the inside line for the first part of the chicane, and he's gonna take it actually. So D Keller up into P14. Oh, it's so close between these three guys here. I think Andrex is just holding them up a little bit here, but you know, that's Andrex. He tries to hold everyone up.
Yeah, it's his specialty.
But
oh no, Jeff has gone way too late on the brakes, smashed into the back of Andrex. Got a first-hand view of that one from his bumper cam, and he completely shot Andrex off the track. That is a shame. Kind of ended that battle. Was looking quite good.
Yeah.
Jeff lost out the most, and there might well be some damage both to the front of his car and to the back of Andrex. I think Keller got away with it. And there's no games for gun on those guys.
Hideaki has passed his teammate.
Oh!
And Hideaki is also into the 205s again on lap time. So he is absolutely flying at the moment. He's got the edge of his team, and on the last couple of I saw him closing in, but I thought he was too far back in the next couple of laps to do anything. But he proved us wrong, really.
So Hideaki, who's driving on the pad, of course, is showing incredible speed at the moment. Let's look at the last lap. He was only 4/10 off Charv on his previous lap, and 4/10 ahead of Nova.
Yeah, Nova crossing the line again. 2:06.8. Nova is dropping quite considerably, and also dropping time to Suomi, who's again at 2:05.
Ooh.
That was pretty close, but I think Sula got the better exit there out of turn 2, although...
Here we go, is he gonna go for a late braking maneuver? He is gonna try, I think. Is he gonna be far enough alongside though? Sula leaving room on the apex, but will still carry this amount of speed into turn 5 and have the inside for that, of course. But Crazy B has tried to cut back before, he's trying it again. We've seen it several times throughout this race, but he wasn't quite able to pull it off to the extent that we've seen some of the guys do previously, so he has to still slot in behind, and it's a patience game here for Crazy B. Oh, and he got a really poor exit out of there.
Yeah, I think he hit the inside curb too hard and had a little bit of an off there.
Had to save it maybe a little bit. Oh, did I hear? Oh no! That is Claessens is off. I did hear some contacts. He might have scraped the wall there on the right side of the track. Let's see. Wonder if he's got damage. He's definitely going quite slow through here. And now he will be joining that battle with Sula and Crazy B. I will show the calendar later on, but don't think so.
I don't think so either, but anyway, there's side by side behind.
Go on, yep.
Cutting it though!
Oh no! Contact, and Crazy B has dropped it into the gravel.
I think he thought he was clear of Sula, but he clearly wasn't, and well, he not clearly wasn't, but he was not clear when he tried to cut back in.
Not clearly clear.
Not clearly clear, yeah, exactly. So, unfortunately, a little bit of contact, and I don't think that really Sula should or could have done anything different. Brno's now pretty close as well.
Yeah. This would be Crazy B now having fallen into another battle.
Brno's also set his fastest lap on the last lap, so this Aston Martin is actually better than I thought it would be in the rain on this track here today.
Aston Martin 7th and 10th at the moment in the race with Claessens and Brandres. So it's just a wet weather masterclass from Chaff at the moment. He's now going into turn 4 as the Nova is coming out of turn 1. So that is the gap between those two visually at the moment. Suomi now coming out of turn 1. So he's definitely, like I said before, like I thought, he's closer to Nova, I think, than Nova to Chaff. But still, the gap is relatively big between those two.
Yeah, I think we've hit the 1 hour mark.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Nova has...
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's made a mistake, just pointed out by Flavio in the chat as well. He had a 2-minute 10.7 lap last time, which is 5 seconds slower than Chaff. So that's clearly a mistake that has happened, and Suomi about a second behind him only now. Even less.
I mean, these guys' pace were pretty similar really, but Nova has been the more inconsistent one.
What a save though! Jeez, I was sure when he lost it on that curb that he was gonna fly off into the wall, but he saved it. And of course the situation with Nova and Chaff potentially being equal on points coming out of 2 races is looking under threat there, because Suomi now very close in that Corvette, and Nova starting to struggle a little bit. We of course remember from Nova's interview last week that he was really struggling with tyre wear and in the final few laps at Monza. I wonder if he's struggling with the tyres here again. Don't really know, but yeah, he's definitely now been put under pressure massively from Suomi.
He's also understeering quite a bit. He's going very, very wide in almost every corner. Corners well. Suomi again with the better exit, but the Corvette is not really good on the straight, so this is this will be hard. It will be hard. I think he's relying on a little bit of a mistake here and there once again, but again through the corners. Suomi seems to have the edge a little bit at the moment. But he's definitely not close enough on the start from straight to do anything.
Certainly though, with Suomi now suddenly sitting right there in the mirrors of Nova, it will not make it any easier for Nova to not make mistakes. He's running wide through there, but just taking a very late apex like we saw Charf do earlier. Is Nova. Suomi still carrying this amount of speed, despite taking a noticeably tighter line. Could be crucial for Suomi as well, of course. We never know. Obviously,
yeah,
he was struggling in Monza, but someone of Suomi's pace might well make the Corvette work at
other tracks,
some other circuits.
Oh,
Not making it work there though. That is, we haven't really seen Suomi make a clear-cut mistake like that, but now he's done it, and dropped a bit of time then to Nova. Speaking of Suomi, cheeky stats again from Brownsky in the chat. If Suomi stays in this position, we'll have had 11 out of 13 different cars on the podium. Interesting. A nice job there. And look how close now Suomi is to Nova. He was barely any inches between them through that corner, and he's got a lap and a half to try and pull off some kind of miracle overtake here on Nova, who qualified on the front row. Has to be looking so strong on pace, slightly wobbly onto the straight. Suomi, is he gonna go for it on the inside? It's maybe closing a little bit, but it's not close enough. Nova running wide through the corner, but then cutting back, still carrying a decent amount of speed, but we're getting very wide on the curb. Suomi might be given a chance into the next chicane. Nova forces to take a slightly defensive line, still has his car ahead. Suomi's going to try to cut underneath, both on the first apex and on the second apex. It's much trickier though on the second apex because it's a longer corner, and he still has to be behind. But now this is battle on for a second place. Chaff has already started the final lap of the race, but we're going to stick to this battle here for P2. Nova needs to hold on to this if he wants to be joint top of the championship coming out of this, but Suomi is looking so strong now all of a sudden. As we are riding on board with the front bumper, he's losing a bit of time on the straight. The Corvette not too good on the straight, he has to be said. And now we can once again for the final time see the difference in lines through there. Nova running super wide, Suomi's going to be underneath him. And Nova, this will not allow Nova to take his usual line of cutting back onto the apex. And he's going to run very wide on the curb, nearly door banging. But Nova will still have the inside line for turn 4. Side by side for P2 on the final lap of the race. Can Suomi pull off something? Will he cut underneath or will he try to go on the outside? He will go underneath here on the first apex, and surely will try it again coming out of turn 5, although Nova's keeping really tight, not really allowing Suomi to go under him there, and Suomi will have to do it on the brakes somewhere, you'd imagine. And again, he's not going for it. He's just I don't know, he's just trying to get a corner exit somewhere that allows him a chance to slip up the inside. But Nova is doing so well in this situation where it looks like Suomi has a slight pace advantage all of a sudden, but he just cannot find a way through as it stands.
No, definitely not. I think next corner, come on. He needs to get a good exit out of here. But Nova's actually done a very good job out there, so no way in Suomi making a dive into turn 11. And if Nova keeps it clean now, I think he should have got this.
It's only 2 chicanes to go in the lap. As I accidentally skipped up to the Chauf, who will be crossing the line in not too long, but Nova, slightly off the apex there, but then nice line through the next one. Can he carry the speed on the exit though? Suomi getting a much better exit, but it wasn't really able to. He maybe had to back off a little bit, and now Nova really has to defend. It looked like Suomi wanted the inside line into the chicane, but Nova didn't allow him to have it, and Suomi is going to be side by side. Oh, is there going to be any contact there side by side through the final corner? Suomi in the outside, and this is going to be a photo finish across the line. Oh, my camera's completely messed it up.
Nova's got it.
Nova got second place by literally a fraction there. Suomi is behind as they go into turn 1. Hideaki is going to come across in P4. What a battle that was for second place. Man.
What a try round the outside of the last corner. He's almost put it
Suomi tried everything there.
That Corvette let him down on the straight.
Yeah, I think that might as well what it come down to, the Corvette not being good enough on the run down to the line. Godfather Shift's going to finish P5 here. F-Mate P6 behind him.
We might have one more chance for Keller to get past Enzo, but I don't think... Although, we mentioned Keller earlier, passing Enzo... No, catching Enzo, he's gone up the side, he's trying.
Oh, there's a bit of contact.
Yep.
in the final corner. And so can he keep the speed through the final wall? Keller's going to go the outside, try the Suomi move. Will his riff have the straight line speed that he needs, as the camera again has not made it work? But yes, Keller did pull it off around the outside. Enzo might not be too pleased, considering there was a bit of contact, but I'm not really sure if that was anyone's fault. So yeah, Keller gets 11th place, just about an extra couple of points for him. And then Villa's going to be 13th. And after him comes Tharion, I believe now. In 14th, that's going to be Mark O in 15th. Not the finish he would have wanted after being much higher up in the top 10 earlier on in the race.
Right.
Andrex coming around to be the last finisher on the lead lap, and then Jamai was a lap, so he will finish in 17th position. Right. But this, though, is the man now going to the pits who won the race. Charf, 36 points for him, also with that pole position point.
My God.
Oh, man.
I mean,
it was an interesting race, wasn't it?
Yes, definitely. I mean, some incredible battles in the first half, then it calmed down, and just nothing happened in the last 10 laps, and then just final corner. Hello?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think you summed it up perfectly there. It was, like you said, it was a lot of big packs battling it out in the first half of the race. And there was a bit of downtime, but then suddenly kicked up, especially in a battle for second place. So, yep, good stuff. You can see the results here. I think we need to have a bit of a breather. But this, of course, means that Charf and Nova will be joint top on the top of the championship, because Nova did keep that second place. Both on 68 points coming out of the second round. There's 8 rounds to go, of course. There's lots more racing to be had. Hello, Mr. Charf.
Hello.
How are you doing? A race win for you, and what a drive. You were just dominant all the race long. A little bit of a challenge from Nova in the first few laps, but then suddenly you just had the pace to pull away and you never looked back.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. That was probably one of my most consistent races I ever had in my Project Cars history. It was like 30 laps out of the 32 within 0.3. Yeah, it paid off in the end. The consistency. Nova made some small mistakes here and there, and that cost some time. Yeah, I started liking the rain. I wasn't too sure about it before the race, but now, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was definitely a masterful drive from you. Of course, Nova got the better of you in the season opener at Monza, but now you've taken him back, and you two will be joint top with equal points at the top of the championship out of the first 2 rounds. Were you expecting a championship battle from Nova coming into this season?
Yeah, I was expecting it. Like, he had the pace last season as well. He just happened to have a really bad season, a lot of bad luck. But yeah, I kind of expected it. In quali, you can see how close we are on pace. But it's going to be interesting to see what the next race are going to offer.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that's that's it. There's not too much more to say. You just had a fantastic drive, so well done on that. And of course,
yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Good luck in your championship challenge as the season goes on.
Thank you.
All right, see you next week.
See you next week. All right.
Hello, Suomi.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing? What an end to the race! But first of all, let's talk about your race in general. You know, you qualified P5, I think, made up a few positions at the start.
Right.
How was the start of the race for you?
It was safe. I thought there'd be some contact, but yeah, good race. Start was okay. I was just saying, I'm quite surprised that I've actually finished on the podium, really.
Yeah.
What happened?
I guess not too much happened after you got up to third.
No,
so
it's
you
quite
managed to pull a
quiet.
bit of a gap.
I had Godfather shift on me, and I was seeing that Z4 was slightly better than the vet, and I was trying to keep in front of him, which luckily I did. And then I think he started making mistakes. I pulled a little gap on him. I think it was like 4 or 5 seconds at one point, and then I didn't look behind me for a while, and then I noticed Hideaki behind me, and the gap was coming down slowly. And at this point as well, Nova made a big mistake, I think. And I was within a few seconds of him, and then he was making more. But as I got closer to him, I was making more mistakes because of him being in front of me, as obviously the slipstream and the braking points and the spray that was coming up. But yeah, I could have pushed it a tiny bit harder, but I didn't want to risk throwing away third place just to try and get second. But I tried there at that, around the outside for the finish line, but it didn't work. Nearly.
It was such a good effort. It was like we can clearly see in the final lap there that you were just trying to throw everything at him to try and find a way through.
Yeah,
and so nearly got it.
I'm very pleased though for the third place. I was aiming for a top 5. I thought that'd be brilliant, but to get third around there with the Corvette, I'm very happy.
Yeah, the first Corvette podium in the league as well.
Oh, nice.
And we're gonna get Laguna Seca next. What do you think?
That's the
that's
the best track for the car.
Oh, interesting.
Predicting, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm predicting I'll do a very good result around there. Canada's not looking too bad for the car. I'd say Watkins Glen's a bit of a weak track for the car. I'm not sure about Zhuhai yet, but the rest of them are. I'll be in the mix anyway. A bit like Brno.
Great to hear. Obviously, yeah. Fingers crossed to get a bit less bad luck as well compared to last season. Which
yeah.
don't even want to remind you, but you know.
No.
Either way, though, it's yeah, really good performance from you today. Well done on the podium, man. No, yeah, I guess good luck at Laguna next week.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hello there, Hideaki.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Finishing P4, not a bad effort on the pad.
Thank you.
How was the race for you in general?
Pretty boring, I gotta say.
Oh.
I had a plan on lap 1 to not let Papan through, and that failed immediately. So I was kind of worried about my racing, because I knew I was faster than Papan, but he's just so good at defending that it would have taken me forever to get past him.
Right.
But luckily he spun it on the first lap, and I nearly followed him. But then that gave me a space ahead, and it was just a case of trying to catch up to my teammate.
Which you did.
Yeah, I think he had damage, which made it a bit easier.
Oh, right.
I think he had an instant was slowing me somewhere and hit the tyres, so he had aero damage.
Yeah, he obviously then passed him. Was running fourth. Did you think at any point that you had a chance to catch the two guys ahead of you?
When it was just Salome, no, because we were basically just trading laps. But then I saw there was a car ahead of him, but I assumed it was a lap car, so I wasn't pushing that hard. I was just going to take fourth. But then I realised it was second place, so for like the last 6 or 7 laps, I was just pushing like crazy, setting just fastest laps again and again. Just wasn't enough in the end, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, at least on the positive side, it seems like you are able to put in good performances in the Z4 despite the lack of stability and control. How much has that changed, not having that system?
It's not too bad. Curbs are the big thing.
Alright.
Like, Monza was a really bad track, especially to have first to try and get used to it. I'm really scared for Laguna Seca now. The corkscrew is actually going to be pad death corner.
That does sound tricky, especially on the pads, for sure. I struggle enough with it on the wheel, to be honest, but yeah. 4th place, what do you reckon then for the season in general? Not the best start at Monza, but now you've shown that you can get good results. What do you think you can do this season?
Well, the target was top 10s every race apart from Monza, so I'm on for that at the moment.
Yeah.
And maybe snatch a podium somewhere. I mean, it can happen, like Ramsat showed.
Yeah, definitely. Oh well. Definitely, yeah, at least you're on good way with the result today, and I wish you the best of luck with the corkscrew next week.
Thank you, I'll need it.
Alright. Don't think there's too much more to say. As we mentioned, Laguna Seca will be the circuit next time out in sunrise conditions. Bit of fog there as well, I can see. That should be interesting. Yeah, a bit of light fog and then a bit of haze coming in.
Well, oh, it's light fog and then hazy. Okay, that's actually cool. That's actually cool to see the transition between fog and sunshine. So I never saw that before. So
Not sure we had that before either. So
I'm definitely gonna watch the stream only for that one.
That would be good. Yeah, obviously we expect Yorkie to be back in the box after getting a new microphone next week, and then hopefully for the rest of the season. But welcomes, it's been a pleasure having you here. Obviously, thanks for stepping in, especially considering it was quite late notice.
No problem. It has been a pleasure on my side as well. I mean, it's always cool commentating on these kind of races, especially if it's also so action packed for most of the parts of the races. And yeah, we will have a very interesting season, I think, ahead of us, with still 6 rounds to go. So looking forward to it.
Thanks to everyone who has watched the stream today. Hope you join us next week as well for Laguna Seca. Yeah. I think that's it.
That's it.
We'll catch you next week, Laguna Seca. And Yorkie, you'll be there. You will be there. Yes.
Definitely.
See you next week, guys. Goodbye.
Bye bye.